Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Recovery operations continue for the 6 people missing following the collapse of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge. All 6 are presumed dead. Michael Yoshida has the latest on the ongoing efforts.
Video shows the moment the cargo ship slammed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to collapse into the Patapsco River after it lost engine and electrical power. 6 members of a road crew working on the bridge at the time of the accident. Divers back in the water Wednesday, working to recover the bodies of those victims.
That work is already dangerous, but will be even more so today with the expected rain, the choppy waters, and we all know about the debris and other things that they'll be dealing with.
Among the victims, Maynor Yasir Suaso Sandoval. A family member tells CNN the married father of 2 from Honduras had been in the U.S. for 18 years and started his own maintenance company. Also identified Miguel Luna. The immigrant from El Salvador is married with 3 children and lived in Maryland for 19 years. Governor Westmore issuing a promise to all the victims' families as the operation turned from rescue to recovery.
I will exhaust all options to be able to bring them a sense of closure.
Also calling for full examination of the crash.
There needs to be accountability to make sure that these things do not happen again, and that we have the systems in place to make sure that they don't.
The Port of Baltimore remains closed. More than 1,000 members of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are expected to assist in debris removal to get a shipping channel open.
We'll have to figure out how we're going to wrap our arms around that community, those workers, those families who depend on the port.
In Baltimore, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
After 2 days of a power outage, residents in northeast Nebraska finally have their power back on. Elkhorn Rural Public Power District announced Wednesday that power had been restored to all residences by Tuesday night, but the power outages might still continue. ERPPD says they're spending Wednesday working on permanent repairs to the power lines. They're warning users that they might see blinks and further outages as those repairs are made. And as the ice comes off the power lines, the initial outage began because of windy weather, which also prevented crews from making repairs earlier in the week. Well, the first step to bring changes to a historic property that's become a bit of an eyesore on Norfolk's south side was taken Tuesday. For more, we go to Ryan Pattee.
On Tuesday, the Madison County Commissioners approved the removal of the old livestock market in Norfolk from its county industrial tract. Its removal was at the request of the city of Norfolk, who after discussions with the building's owners have a mutual interest in changing the area. The building has stood unused since 2015, and the city hopes by taking it off of the tract, new opportunities will be available for the property. County Commissioners agreed, and with no vocal opposition on Tuesday's meeting, they took the property off of the tract in a unanimous 3-0 vote. Norfolk City Administrator Andy Colvin says this is the first step in something much larger that hopes to bring more attention to the southern part of the city. At this time, there is no word on what the owners or the city of Norfolk wants to do with the property, but we will be sure to update you as we learn more. Reporting in Norfolk for News Channel Nebraska, I'm Ryan Pattee.
Taking care to stick to his current job despite being the preferred choice as the new president of the University of Nebraska, Dr. Jeffrey Gold was the guest speaker at the Beatrice Mayor's Prayer Breakfast Wednesday. Doug Kennedy has more.
While Dr. Jeffrey Gold said he can't talk about being designated the preferred choice to take over for Ted Carter, University of Nebraska Regents Chairman Rob Schaefer can.
Jeff is uniquely qualified to serve as president of the University of Nebraska, and he's been here February 1st of 10 years ago is when he first started at the university as chancellor at UNMC.
Dr. Gold said the reach of the university's medical center, where he's been the past 10 years, has been significant.
Literally a week ago yesterday, I spent the day in Scotts Bluff meeting with the hospital system, the community college heads, the state college heads. Had a good community meeting, did a little fundraising out there as well because we're looking at some new facilities. So absolutely, the University of Nebraska Medical Center is a 500-mile campus, and we take that very seriously. That relates to building the future workforce of the state in the health professions. That relates to research on rural and urban challenges that we face, and we know that whether it's heart disease or cancer or stroke or any other problem, both our rural communities and our urban communities struggle, sometimes with having the right amount of workforce, access to critical services when they need it. And so we are laser focused on building that future.
Gold said there are very serious workforce shortage issues across Nebraska, both urban and rural, and they affect medicine.
There are 93 counties in the state of Nebraska. 15 of them do not have a single primary care physician. Approximately half do not have a board-certified OBGYN. I mean, think about what that means to families, pregnant persons who are, about to deliver or need prenatal care in an emergency. Fortunately, we've got a solid network of critical access hospitals and community hospitals, and they're all interlinked. And so that's one of the things that we've done, is to try to build our telehealth services so that we can provide necessary information, interpret laboratory tests, x-rays, scans, and that sort of thing centrally. And as technology gets better and better, that's going to get easier and easier.
The UNMC chancellor likes to say healthcare is local, and it's about relationships patients and families have with their healthcare professionals.
We're going to do a beam raising in Kearney on the second phase of the Health Science Education Complex. When that is completed, which will be in late fall, early winter of 25, that'll be the largest rural health science education satellite location in the country. That'll be over 640 students that are studying medicine and nursing and pharmacy and dentistry and all of the allied health professions as well. So this is a commitment, and it's not a sprint, it's a journey.
Gold said young people are Nebraska's future, and when it comes to UNMC, it's a must to have a welcoming environment for all of them, no matter where they're from.
They're going to have different needs, different beliefs, different ideologies, and they're not going to all be the same. And we have to be a welcoming environment as the university medical center to educate the next generation of healthcare professionals and to meet them where they are and turn them into great physicians, great nurses, great pharmacists. One of my favorite jobs of being the chancellor is commencement. And I get to hand the degrees and shake hands and look in the eyes of these young women and young men. And they come from all over the state, and they come from all over the country.
Just over 100 tickets were sold for the Beatrice Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, an event that's been revived after several years of not being held. From Beatrice, Doug Kennedy, News Channel, Nebraska.
Well, another sign of more expensive times, Dollar Tree raising the maximum price on their store items from $5 to $7. CEO Rick Dreiling shared the change in an earnings call earlier this month. He says that price is because of a wealthier customer base. Dreiling says the retailer's fastest growing demographic is people who earn at least $125,000 a year. 3 years ago, the company raised the base price of its items to $1.25. This past June, it set a new cap at $5. Dollar Tree has been struggling. They reported a net loss of more than $1.7 billion in the quarter ending February 3rd. In response, they've announced plans to close nearly 1,000 stores. More higher costs with Easter less than a week away. Consumer spending expected to top $22 billion. That's according to the National Retail Federation. They say people celebrating predicted to spend an average of $177 this year. Food will be the highest spending category, followed by clothing, then gifts. Meanwhile, the price of cocoa surged to an all-time high just this week. That means you could be paying more for chocolate in stores this week. Well, the home field at Grand Island for their baseball programs might soon be getting a renovation. At Tuesday's City Council meeting, members heard from the Grand Island Baseball Committee. That group has been working to develop a plan to renovate the baseball field at Ryder Park. The field, home to the Grand Island High School baseball team and the local American Legion baseball program over the summer months. Grand Island Community Baseball Committee President Clint Ruther says it would be a great addition to the community.
Really what we want to do is create a facility that is first class in the state of Nebraska, that our community can be proud of. When you're driving down the street at night and you see Ryder Park with the lights on, that you say, wow, that place is amazing for our kids today and for the next 30 to 50 years. It's something that we think that has to happen.
The renovation plans include installing artificial turf, new concession stands, bathrooms, new lights, bleachers, and scoreboards. The estimated price tag, $5 million. Now, the committee says they're hoping to raise $1.75 million. They're asking the city to cover the rest, $3.25 million. The council has yet to make a decision on the proposed renovation. Council members expect to vote at a future meeting. And it is safe to say that Nebraska has made a strong impression on the Pro Volleyball Federation. Officials with the Omaha Supernovas announcing Wednesday that Omaha has been chosen to host the PVF's first championship matches. The semifinals will be hosted at the CHI Health Center on May 15th. The championship set for May 18th. That championship will be televised on the CBS Sports Network. Now, Omaha's been setting multiple attendance records this season. In fact, the 5 biggest crowds to watch a women's professional volleyball match ever in America have now all happened in Nebraska. As for the Supernovas, they're currently second place in the league standings. They'll be back in action at the CHI Center on Thursday against Grand Rapids. You'll be able to watch that match on News Channel Nebraska. And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com. Click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. You're watching